Women's World Cup final for 2025, folks, and it's England who get it done. 33 points to 13 over the Canadians. I feel like they were pretty comfortably in front for enough of the game that it didn't look too much in doubt, but the fact that the Canadians scored first and the fact that they punished during the English yellow card meant that it wasn't quite all wrapped up until Matthews' second try 10 minutes from the end. But England, pretty good value for their win. Canada couldn't quite recapture some of that magic which they showed against the Black Ferns in the semi-final. England, I don't think, hit their full potential in this game either, but were still too good for the Canadians. And their winning run goes on. It's going to be a fitting end to some careers for some of the English players who are coming to the end, but man, they are quite the side. I watched this one a wee bit delayed. It was on at the same time as the Springboks and Argentina game, 4 in the morning. Here in NZ, it's a kind of horrendous kickoff time, but yeah, I think it was pretty good value for a final. We'll go through some of the key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on when is this England team ever going to lose? Because their winning run is quite incredible. Canada did punish the one English lineout error of the entire game. England's lineout was 10 from 11, but their first muck-up was punished. Asia Hogan-Rochester was able to get the perfect try down the left wing for the Canadians on the back of an English lineout mistake. Unconverted, but a 5-0 lead. And that's the perfect start for the Canadians away from home, up against this all-conquering English side. They strike early. They did. But man, at times the Canadian exits were poor. And unfortunately for them, they could not get a good exit from the restart. And Ellie Kildunn just found herself in acres of space. And she is an absolute weapon. She's lightning. You can't give her an inch. And they gave her well more than that. She finishes off an English try. So 7 points to 5. Any of that Canadian kind of good work is just gone. And they were close to a second not too long later, England, but it got chalked off for a forward pass. They did get a second anyway. Amy, whose name I worry a little bit gets into trouble with YouTube's algorithm, Kane. She got one from a maul. It took a little bit of work. Like the English maul's been one of their weapons for a long time as well, along with those explosive backs. It took a bit of pushing. They kind of got the first stop, but they did get the ball down to make it 14 points to 5. So they were looking a lot more comfortable then. And then Canada finally did get some balls, some phases. They got intercepted, so they're right back down their own end. It's a whole heap of pressure. And on the back of a powerful scrum, Matthews got her first of 2 to make it 21-5. At that point, I'm starting to think, man, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty messy outing for the Canadians. The Canadians, again, to their credit, did come back into it. They had like 12 phases, ended up opting for a high ball into England's 22 because they weren't able to kind of get that penetration. Kildunn was pretty safe under that. They did eventually get a penalty, the Canadians, which they opted for 3 on 34 minutes to get some like scoreboard pressure for all the territory they had kind of in that period of play, which made it 21-8. But it felt like a bit of a win for the English defence, that the Canadians felt the need to go for the 3. And to be honest, they were lucky to escape another English maul try in reply from another kind of poor exit, but that one got TMO'd for a bit of obstruction. So a little bit of a lucky escape for the Canadians. They go into the sheds 21-8. Missed tackle count is 17 by the Canadians, 11 by the English. Penalty count 6-3 for, England to the good. Essentially, they've conceded fewer penalties than Canada. And, you feel like Canada need to bring up the set piece, in particular in the second half, and their exits. They did start the second half, Canada, with a nice 50-22. But set piece again, line out. They lost it, so the chance is gone. Then from the English clearance, they lose that line out too. So it's all going wrong for the Canadians, and it feels like another English try is coming. And sure enough, it took a while, but Ward was able to get a close range one. Conversion hits the post. So we're at 26 points to 8, which is feeling like a very, very, very long way back for the Canadians. However, Bottomman got a yellow card for a dangerous tackle, and you felt like Canada absolutely need points, and they got them. They got the maul going, they spun it wide through the hands Asia Hogan Rochester got her second to make it 26-13. So you think one more score, and this gets interesting. Canada had so much pressure in that yellow card. England gave away a couple of penalties. Canada had like an attacking line-out play. They got another advantage. They had a 5-meter tap play. Whatever they had up their sleeve, though, didn't work. Because from that 5-meter tap play, they ended up knocking it on. And I feel like that was maybe the game. But they also had an attacking scrum on 65 minutes deep in England's half. And England's pack on the Canadian feet just shoved them right off the ball. So those missed chances, you got to give some credit to the English defence and the set piece. They just shut Canada down. And then England on 68 minutes, their first time in Canada's end for a wee while. No mistake, ruthless. Canada failed to catch the high ball. Phases, and it ends in Matthews going over for her second. That's game, 33 points to 13. So like I said, I feel like England are pretty good value for this win. They, they had way more value out of their set piece. Their line out, as I said, was 10 from 11. Canada was 11 from 14. The scrum, they pushed Canada off half of their balls. I think Canada's scrum finished 3 from 6, so 50% completion rate. Not going to get the job done. And they tackled at 89%, which is pretty class. Canada were at 81. Yeah, 8 clean breaks to 6 in England's favour. So, man, England are a very, very good team. I mean, Asia Hogan Rochester still finishes with 99 metres, 2 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, and a couple of tries. Not a bad shift for a Rugby World Cup final. De Goody has 13 from 14 tackles. She's always right up there. But, I mean, some of the English forwards, Torling, 22 out of 24. Allcroft, 20 out of 21. Cabella, 20 out of 22. Some big defensive shifts from England. And then Kildun with a bit of magic, 99 metres for her as well. 2 clean breaks, 9 defenders beaten, a try, and a World Cup. John Mitchell gets a World Cup as coach. So well done to him. They were obviously massive favourites, but sometimes that pressure can get to teams. England showed the mental fortitude and the skills to get through this one in what I said wasn't a totally one-sided match, but England were always kind of just able to keep Canada at bay. It's been an entertaining World Cup. Shame about my Black Ferns not making the final, but I don't know if they would have beaten England today either, to be fair. I don't think so. And some like standout before. Like the South Africans were a really fun team to watch. The game keeps growing. It's been an enjoyable one, but yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. Congratulations to England. If you want England rugby gear, there'll be England Rugby store link down in the description. They're an affiliate of the channel. Get some gear to celebrate England's World Cup win. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.